The jukebox was playing George Strait when it happened. Harley's Roadhouse, Kansas City, Missouri. 9:23 p.m. on a Friday night in October of 1992. In the corner booth sat Tommy Morrison, 23 years old, blonde hair still wet from the gym, wearing a white t-shirt that showed arms thick as telephone poles. Across from him sat Coach Earl Williams, 73, 5 feet 6 inches tall, maybe 130 pounds, wearing the same brown cardigan he'd worn to every single one of Tommy's 41 professional fights. Earl had trained Tommy since the kid was 14 years old. 9 years later, Tommy was 28 wins, 0 losses, the hottest heavyweight prospect in America. And Earl was the only father figure he'd ever known. Earl stood up from the booth. "Gotta use the restroom, son. Be right back." Tommy nodded, took another sip of his Coke. Earl walked toward the bathroom hallway, moving slow, the way 73-year-old men move. That's when he ran into the wall. Except it wasn't a wall. It was Jake Donovan, called him Rattlesnake Jake, president of the Iron Riders Motorcycle Club, 6 feet 4 inches tall, 300 pounds of leather and tattoos. Jake was blocking the narrow hallway, talking to 2 club members. Earl stopped, waited politely. "Excuse me, sir. Need to get by?" Jake didn't move, didn't even look down. Earl cleared his throat. "Sir, I need to use the restroom." Jake finally looked down. "Bathroom's closed." Earl blinked. "Closed?" Jake's friends laughed. "Yeah, old man, closed. Come back later." But Earl was 73. When a 73-year-old man needs a bathroom, later isn't an option. "Sir, please. I'll just be a minute." Jake leaned down. "You deaf, Grandpa?" I said, closed. "Move along." Earl stood there, his bladder screaming, his dignity trying to hold on. He was a proud man, had served in Korea, had trained champions. "Please," Earl said quietly. "I really need," Jake turned back to his conversation, dismissing Earl like he didn't exist. Earl stood there for another minute, then 2. His hands were shaking. He tried to hold it. But at 73, your body doesn't negotiate. It happened slowly. A dark stain spreading down Earl's tan slacks. Warm liquid running down his leg. Jake noticed first. "Yo, the old man just pissed himself." One of them pulled out a phone, started filming. Earl stood frozen, his face a mask of shame, trembling. Tommy heard the laughter from across the bar. He looked up, saw the phones out, saw Earl standing in a puddle surrounded by laughing bikers. Tommy stood up. The booth table moved 6 inches from the force. He walked toward the hallway. The crowd parted. Tommy reached Earl, who was crying now. Silent tears. "Coach," Tommy said quietly. Earl couldn't look at him. "I tried to hold it, son. I know. Come on." Tommy took off his jacket, wrapped it around Earl's waist. Then he turned to Jake. "You need to apologize." Jake, still laughing, looked down. "Or what, pretty boy? Or I'm going to make you." Jake reached into his vest, pulled out a folding knife, flicked it open. "How about I cut that pretty face of yours?" The bar went silent. Tommy didn't flinch. "Apologize to Coach Earl. Right now." Jake laughed. "Or maybe I'll cut the old man too." Jake never finished the sentence. Tommy's left hook came from Oklahoma, the same hook that had knocked out 23 professional fighters. It caught Jake square on the jaw. The sound was like a baseball bat hitting a watermelon. Jake's knife clattered to the floor. His 300-pound body went stiff, then crumpled. He hit the floor face first, didn't move. Tommy helped Earl out, got him to the car, drove him home in silence. When they pulled up to Earl's house, Earl spoke. "They're going to come after you now." That whole club. Let them. Tommy, these men don't have rules. They'll bring guns, more men than you can handle. Tommy's voice was quiet. Coach, you've been there for every fight since I was 14. You taught me that a real man protects his family. You are my family. What are you going to do? What needs to be done? By sunrise, Tommy had a list. 7 names. Jake Donovan, president, currently in the hospital with a broken jaw, fractured skull. Marcus Chains Riley, vice president, who'd filmed Earl's humiliation, posted it online. Derek Demon Thompson, who'd suggested cutting Earl. Luis Santos, who'd started the laughing. Raymond Razor Collins, who'd said, make it viral. Kevin Walsh, who'd blocked Earl from leaving. And the clubhouse itself on Independence Avenue. Marcus Chains, Riley was first. Saturday night, 11:45 p.m. Marcus lived above a pawn shop on Troost Avenue, drove a 1987 Harley-Davidson he loved more than anything. Tommy waited in the shadows. Marcus came home drunk at 11:52, stumbling, probably rewatching the video of Earl. He never made it upstairs. Tommy stepped out. Marcus. Marcus turned, saw Tommy, tried to run. Tommy caught him in 3 steps, threw him against his motorcycle. The bike fell over, crashed. "No!" Marcus screamed. "Not my bike! You filmed Coach Earl, posted it online, made him a joke. So, old man should have held it. He was 73 years old. He served in Korea. He trained champions. And you made him stand there while you laughed and filmed." Tommy picked up the fallen motorcycle, Marcus's pride and joy, probably worth $20,000. "Wait, Tommy, wait. We can talk." Tommy lifted the motorcycle over his head. Then he threw it. 300 pounds of steel sailed through the air, crashed through Marcus's second-story apartment window. Glass exploded. The motorcycle disappeared into the living room. Marcus dropped to his knees. "My stuff. All my Tommy," leaned down. "Next time you see an old man who needs help, you help him. And Marcus, if I ever see that video online again, I'm coming back." Derek Thompson was second. Sunday morning. Derek worked security at a construction site. Tommy walked on, hard hat on, clipboard in hand. Derek didn't recognize him until too late. Oh, shit. Derek reached for his radio. Tommy grabbed his wrist. "You suggested cutting Coach Earl with a knife." Derek tried to swing. Tommy blocked it, twisted Derek's arm, walked him to the construction pit, a 15-foot hole, concrete at the bottom. "Tommy, man, I didn't mean it." Tommy shoved Derek forward. Derek fell screaming, landed hard, his leg twisting ugly. The scream was high-pitched, agonized, broken in 2 places, bone through skin. Tommy looked down. "Don't worry, I called an ambulance. They'll be here in 8 minutes. But Derek, while you wait, think about what it feels like to be helpless. That's what Coach Earl felt." Luis Santos, Raymond Collins, and Kevin Walsh went faster. Luis got his phone destroyed and his store window smashed. Raymond got exposed to his wife and family, forced to apologize publicly, and donate $5,000 to veterans. Kevin got lifted by the throat in an alley, terrified into leaving town completely. By Wednesday, 5 men were destroyed. Friday night, 7 p.m. 1 week exactly since Earl's humiliation. The Iron Riders clubhouse was packed. Emergency meeting. Their president was hospitalized. 5 members destroyed in 5 days. They voted. 15 men voted to retaliate. 3 voted to disband and leave. The 3 walked out immediately. At 8:45 p.m., Tommy Morrison walked through the front door. alone. 15 bikers stood up, reaching for weapons. Tommy raised his hands. "I'm not here to fight. I'm here to make you understand something." A huge biker named Truck spat. "Understand what? That you can hurt old men and laugh? That you can humiliate war veterans for social media? That you terrorize people without consequences?" Coach Earl Williams is 73 years old. He's forgotten more about honor than any of you will learn. You destroyed him for entertainment. So here's what happens. You disband, tonight. Burn your cuts, destroy your patches, never ride as Iron Riders again. Truck pulled out a gun. Or we shoot you right now. Tommy smiled. You could. And then what? I'm Tommy Morrison. I've been on HBO. I'm fighting George Foreman next year for the heavyweight championship. You shoot me. Every cop in Kansas City comes down like the wrath of God. Every reporter, every camera, every federal agent. You'll spend life in prison for killing a celebrity. But if you don't shoot me, I walk out. You disband quietly. We're done. You keep your freedom, your families, your lives. You just don't ride together anymore. The room was silent. Truck lowered his gun. We disband. You leave us alone? Completely. You have my word. The bikers looked at each other. Truck nodded. We'll vote again. This time, all 15 voted to disband. Tommy Morrison walked out at 9:15 p.m. Behind him, the Iron Riders Motorcycle Club ceased to exist. Coach Earl Williams lived another 11 years, trained 14 more fighters, saw 3 become champions. He never spoke about that night, but everyone in Kansas City knew. Tommy Morrison had gone to war for his coach, destroyed an entire motorcycle club in 5 days. In 2003, a reporter asked Tommy about it. "Mr. Morrison, people say you disbanded the Iron Riders. True?" Tommy, sick with HIV by then, wasted to 170 pounds, smiled. "Coach Earl taught me that family protects family. That's all I did. Was it worth it?" Coach Earl was at my bedside when I got my diagnosis. He held my hand when I thought about giving up. He never left me. So yeah, breaking up a motorcycle club to defend his honor? Easiest decision I ever made. Coach Earl died in 2004. Tommy Morrison at his side. At the funeral, over 200 people showed up. Not one Iron Rider attended, because they were gone. Disbanded. The clubhouse was now a community center. Touch Coach Earl, and Tommy Morrison touches you back. 7 days, 5 men destroyed, 1 club disbanded. Family protects family. When the system fails, sometimes the only justice is the kind you make yourself. Remember Coach Earl Williams, 1919 to 2004, the trainer who built the Duke. The reason Tommy Morrison learned that honor matters more than fear. Rest in power.